Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of Interviewing of Isaac, the series where I interview your favorite Isaac content creators. Today, I am joined by the best man at my wedding, my roommate of 2 years, and my best friend, ZestiOrange. Want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hello. My name is John, also known as Zesty. Full biblical name ZestiOrange. I would be very surprised if I am your favorite Isaac content creator because I maybe stream once every 2 months and it usually is not Isaac, but I do absolutely love the game. It's a favorite. It's like top 3 games. Like, how can you beat this game except maybe Nugenics once it comes out?
Yeah, I'm excited for that. But yeah, I mean, you can't say you're not, at least previously, an Isaac content creator.
Yes.
So for a little bit of background, for the people watching who don't know, I actually started my content creation journey with Zesty. He was the co-creator of Absolutely Scripted. It even helped me brainstorm Shot Saturday, now just like a regular thing that happens on the channel every week. So I have to ask, all those years ago, what was it like creating content with me?
It honestly was super fun. It was a highlight of my nights, just getting to sit with my best friend. So to give some other additional background, Script and I were college roommates together for my last 2 years at our college. And we actually became friends by playing Binding of Isaac, and with some other connections that we had, like similar music that we enjoyed listening to, similar brain rot content that we will regularly just rattle off. But it was maybe like October of our living together the first year. We'd known each other a month and a half, and I came in and Script was playing Binding of Isaac on his Xbox, and I said, "Oh, Binding of Isaac, like this game is co-op, right?" And I don't think so. And I was like, "I'm pretty sure like you can press start on your controller and take health from the main character." And he was like, "Well, if you want to give it a shot." And so I had the very cool opportunity of teaching Script something new about Binding of Isaac that they did not know. So even the beginning of that content journey, a lot of it, I just kind of got to be like the funny man, because we would get to play Binding of Isaac, and even when we created Shot Saturday, Repentance was not out, so there was no true co-op. It was me playing Borrow Health Buddy, and not to toot my own horn, I got really good at it, where if I would get really close to getting hit by something, I would just give my health back to Script and not worry about taking that damage. It truly was a delight. Like, it's both with whether it was playing Isaac, our short foray in which you had me play Hollow Knight for Absolutely Scripted, which I had not played before. Me forcing you, but mostly Simon forcing us to play Bugsnax.
Yeah, we 100% of that game too.
We 100% did Bugsnax. We got every single snack.
Yeah.
But yeah, literally just like a highlight. Like, I genuinely think that it really just made the two of us closer people. I don't think I would have been to your house for Thanksgiving, doing a Shot Saturday while drinking wassail in your basement spiked with brandy. Like,
yeah,
what a bougie ass Shot Saturday that was. Well, thinking back on it 5 years ago.
It's so funny that like Isaac already has such like a mainstay in my life right now with like my content creation and streaming, and even like a game that I play with my wife regularly. But to think that it also contributed, it was probably the reason why I now have like my best friend, and why you were at my wedding, and the best man at my wedding. To think that like I can contribute all of that to Isaac is just so funny to me. That like I completely forgot that was kind of what sparked our friendship, because at the time one of our roommates had just dropped out, and then the other roommate was out for like a month and a half with mono. So he stayed home for that month and a half on like a kind of like a medical leave from school. So it was just us in that room of 4 for like a month and a half. We played Isaac like every night for like 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think the following year was when I came back and was like, hey, like I want to get into like streaming and content creation. Like, would you be interested in doing that? And that's just kind of how that was birthed. So it's funny to think about that.
There's just no hesitation. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And even like a lot of our spending time together, even when we're not streaming, it's still playing video games. Like the amount of times that we would finish Shot Saturday and then we would get like freaking 10 p.m. McDonald's. You would get a quarter pounder with cheese. I would get my 2 McChickens. We would split 20 McNuggets. We would sit and we would watch Phineas and Ferb, and then we would go and we'd play like Onslaught on Black Ops Cold War until like 3 a.m.
Yeah. That, like drunk out of our minds playing zombies for like 5 hours straight. That's just...
You wonder why we both lost so much weight when we left college? It's because we stopped eating a full day's worth of calories immediately after drinking nonstop for 3 hours.
Yeah, and we actually started getting like half decent sleep instead of only sleeping for like 3 hours.
Yeah, I'd do a Shot Saturday. I'd sleep for like 2 hours. I'd go work an 8-hour shift at a gas station.
those were the days, man.
Yeah, that was only 5 years ago, and that would still kill me now.
Yeah, dude, I don't. It's funny because like I've even talked to like Lex about it, my wife, and that like if I eat like that nowadays, dude, I feel like garbage. Like anytime I eat like McDonald's or Wendy's, like it'll be nice, and then about the 15 minutes afterwards, I'm like, oh my god, my stomach is just killing me right now. Like I really shouldn't have done that.
Or like if you eat a 12-pack and 2 pounds and drop $6 on cheese.
Yeah, $6 on nacho. Yeah. All right. So I guess we'll keep moving on to some of the other questions. So I guess a good thing is like we started our kind of content creation journey together. Mm-hmm. What ended up in kind of encouraging you to branch off and kind of start streaming on your own?
Well, once I left college and was just, chilling on my own at home, I really missed it because there was a lot of routine in that we would stream like the same nights 3 nights a week, and then to go home and to not have that. Granted, it's a lot easier when you have another person to kind of bounce off of, which is also why it's nice to have like active chats when you're streaming. So little bit of advice: if you're watching this video and then you watch Script stream, just start yapping in chat. It gives more content for us. It's a lot more fun to be able to listen to the people that are watching.
Yeah, and funny enough, like it also keeps energy up too for like streamers. Is like being able to have a consistent, constant conversation, whether or not it's with a stream partner or like with chat. Man, it makes it so much easier to stay like high energy and like engage the whole time, because like streaming, I mean, yeah, if you don't have like an active participant like alongside you, man, it can get kind of exhausting trying to keep the energy up that high for like you know 3 to 4 hours straight. Get active in chat, go comment on the YouTube videos, man. Like put all the energy into keeping the content engaging.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason too that like for Shot Saturday, you specifically, I think this is a great plan. You never do it alone because you're sitting there for hours. Like, yeah, alcohol is goofy fun juice, but scientifically it is a depressant.
Yeah.
So as you drink more of it, you're just getting bleary-eyed, just like staring into the camera, like, oh, starting run number 4. I hope I don't run into D8 my shot item.
Yeah.
Having another person who could be silly and goofy with you, and even like when we got like 4-person with you, me, Mrs. Script, and Cole, like having more people makes Shot Saturday more fun because it also gives you more people to build off of.
Yeah, and I know that's something I definitely want to do more of in the future is get some more like multi-person Shot Saturdays. Because like I know I did a collab with it on Sacreds. I know I've done Shot Saturdays not only when we started, but also in like recent months. And then of course Lex, the normal person I do Shot Saturday with nowadays. But it is so much nicer having like a second person there for sure.
I love you referring to your wife as the normal person I do Shot Saturdays with.
Well, I mean, she kind of is the person I do it with the most.
She's firstly my wife, and secondly the person that I do Shot Saturday with.
Yeah. Like in that order, right? All right, perfect. So, yeah, now that we got kind of that introductory section out of the way, just getting to know who you are and kind of how we met and what our journey was, I guess we'll hop into why everyone else is probably here, which is for the Isaac related questions. So the first question, which you kind of already answered, but if you want to go into a little more detail, is when did you start playing Isaac?
Yeah, so I had played a little bit of Isaac before that. I don't remember when, but it was sometime in high school, and that is why I knew about co-op. But I didn't really start playing Isaac or getting invested in Isaac until my junior year of college, when I was living with Script, and despite us being in the two different pairings of this 4-person room, when we were the only two roommates just hanging out in the common room, playing Isaac into the wee small hours of the morning, getting another one of our friends to come over and play Megalovania on loop while we were playing.
Yeah. That or the Childish Flamingo remix.
Yes. Love me some Childish Flamingo.
Perfect.
Oh.
Yeah, that's good. So, kind of to add into kind of the length of time that you've been playing the game as well. So I know like you've been working towards Dead God. So I guess the question is, have you completed your first Dead God? And if so, what's your advice for players trying to do the same thing?
Yeah, so admittedly, if this makes me a fake Isaac content creator, I have not completed Dead God because of one thing. And I was playing last night in the hopes I could be like, oh, I just got Dead God last night. The only thing I need, stupidly enough, is Moving Box. So just taking Pandora's Box to the dark room and activating it to get Moving Box. And when I was playing last night, I got to Shoal twice with Pandora's Box and died. And the really frustrating thing about that is that both those times I had good builds. Like, one of those times I literally was up to tier cap with quad shot. And the second time I got up there, I had Scorpio and Tech Point 5 with Twisted Pair and Conjoined. Like, there's no reason I should not have fucking Moving Box right now. And I'm so mad that I don't have it.
That is the worst sometimes with like having really good builds but just like not getting health, right? Because you're like, it's like I'm gonna get Isaac, right? I'm gonna get hit with the most BS attack in the world, or something's gonna happen that's just gonna get me hit, and then my run is just gonna be over, and then I'm screwed. Like it hurts so much.
It's like, have I done Nose to the Grindstone, 80 deaths in a row, Tainted Lost, finally beating Beast? Yes. Have I grit my teeth through playing two characters in Jacob and Esau, and also of avoiding Tainted Esau, playing Tainted Jacob? Yes. Have I taken Pandora's Box to the dark room? No. Like,
oh man, that is funny because it's one of those unlocks that like you don't know about right away. So it's like you don't think about it until like you're looking at like your laundry list of things you still need to get, and you're like, oh, It's kind of a weird unlock method, but sure, I'll do. And then you go to try to do it, and you're like, why can't I do this? That's how it was unlocking. Or there's that one achievement where like you have to get to dark chest or dark room without picking up any like items or consumables, or without picking up any consumables like hearts, keys, bombs, or anything. And I remember doing that, and like I would forget about it on like floor 6. And I'd accidentally pick up like a penny or a key or something, and then I have to completely restart the entire run because I'm like, fuck, I completely forgot. But yeah, there are a lot of like weird little like item unlocks and challenges for that. So kind of the second part of that question, what advice do you have for players that are attempting to do the same thing that you are?
Honestly, my best advice is to just keep playing the game. Like anything in life, the only way that you get better at something is to keep playing it. But also at the same time, if the game starts pissing you off, it is okay to take a break, because going into something with a broken mental just makes it worse and worse and worse, and then you're gonna get angrier and angrier. Script playing Overwatch.
Yeah.
And it can feel really bad. So keep playing the game. Keep trying through those difficult runs where you're not getting great items, because it's gonna make you a better player, because you're gonna get used to. Honestly, if you have like really low damage and really low tier rate, and you're on like Womb 2, if anything, you're just gonna get better at dodging, because you've gotten up to that point with having to like shoot the enemies there like 15 times.
Yeah.
Like
I have a short on my YouTube channel that talks about like not resetting and how that makes you a better Isaac player. So I'm glad there's another person out there that shares that same sentiment as me.
Yeah, and admittedly, there are times where I've sat there and been like, bad start, hold R, bad start, hold R, bad start, hold R. But, actually, ironically enough, when I saw that short, I went, you know what? They're right. I'm just gonna grit my teeth and keep doing more runs on Tainted Lost, because if I don't know how to dodge really well on Tainted Lost, which for people that don't know, you get one free hit and that's it.
Yep.
For your whole run, unless you get another holy card. So you need to be really, really, really good at dodging.
Yeah.
To play that. So it doesn't really matter. Like, yeah, there are certain items that you can get that are going to break your run. There's always going to be those. But if you get those run breaking items and you can't dodge out of the way of 2 hits, it doesn't matter, because you're back on basement 1.
Yeah. That's how I feel about like last night I was streaming and I was playing Tainted Keeper, and that was like I was going for Mother. So it was that same idea of like, yeah, my build that I have right now is really powerful and really strong, and I know that I'm clearing rooms instantly. But the moment I do that like second key piece section where I'm like running away from like the mom's face or whatever that enemy is called, I get hit twice because I'm Tainted Keeper. That's all the health I have, and it's done. It's over, right? And I don't have flight like I do with like Lost, so it's not easy. So I'm like having to actually do the puzzles in the room while actively almost dying the whole time.
Yep, not to mention Tainted Keeper speed, so you're also moving like a freaking slug.
Yeah, it's not great, but cool. All right, so what about your biggest Isaac hot take? What's the one thing you want to throw out into the ether that has people with pitchforks and torches?
So ironically enough, as long as we're talking about moving like a slug, when I play Isaac, for the most part, I go after angel deals. Like, there's something nice about not having to give up the health. Granted, the right character, you want to give up the health. I think my hot take is, if you are wanting to play 4 devil deals and just play like on your own and play for fun, I would recommend you play Maggie and just start with 4 red health, so you have more currency to buy those devil deals with. Just, I know that Script hates Maggie.
I don't hate her nearly as much as I used to, right? Like, I know back when we first started creating content, I despised Maggie. Now it's like she's not as bad. There are other characters that have definitely taken that slot since Repentance has come out.
Yes, but like, just grit your teeth with that low speed, because if you get the right devil deal, you get like the pact, you get your speed up to that base 1.0. There are lots of other speed increasing items, including like if you run into a blood donation machine and then you get blood bag, not only do you get more currency to buy your devil deals with, but you get more speed. I think if you're playing on your own for fun, not going for items, and you want to just be like, I want to take a bunch of devil deals, just play Maggie.
Yeah, I know there are a lot of devil deal items that give speed. Like, I think Lord of the Pit gives speed. The Mark gives speed. Even like there's a lot of boss items, right? Like belts, wooden spoons, speedball. Are all just, I think, not Roid Rage, but Roid Rage. Those all give speed ups, and those are all boss items. So
growth hormones.
Even like Stopwatch now gives a speed up in the store.
Yeah.
There are quite a few items that, you know, get rid of that speed issue, right? And I used to just despise playing Maggie because of it, but now it's like, now that I'm better at the game, right? I think it was probably just a skill issue, but now that I'm better at the game, I don't hate her nearly as much as I used to. I don't hate her at all anymore, honestly. Like, I think Maggie's just kind of a middle of the ground, like B tier character that, like, you know, she has a lot going for her, right? Like sacrifice rooms are super valuable, like early game, with her. But yeah, there are definitely other characters that have taken that slot of
Jacob and Esau.
Yeah, Jacob and Esau, I think, is my least favorite character for sure. So still kind of talking about kind of some Isaac, you know, hot takes and transitioning that. I guess I should ask, what item do you feel like should be buffed and why?
For an item to be buffed, ironically enough, also talking about speed still, Jupiter. It feels so damn bad to like skip item room, especially if you're going for the beast where you know you can come back and get the item rooms. To skip those item rooms to get a planetarium only to be met by Jupiter.
Yeah.
Like, if I go in there, get Venus close range charm, I am on cloud 9. If I get Terra and I can blast through rocks and blast open secret doors, great. If I get can't even think of the name of it. Icy Tears.
Uranus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I get Scripts Anus, then I am just on. I'm happy because I get to blast those away. If I get Pluto and I'm just tiny and can dodge everything, great. If I get Jupiter, forget. That is one item that I will not get better for. I will restart my run. If I will either restart my run or I won't take it. And I'll be like, great. I'm really glad I wasted all this time trying to get this freaking item.
Yeah, I think that is the only planetarium item that, like, I think is not good. It used to be Mars, and then they buffed Mars. So like I like how Mars is now because you can use it a lot more offensively without, you know, feeling like you're screwing yourself over. But yeah, Jupiter is such a bad item. It really is. So how would you buff it? If you were to buff the item, how would you go about doing that?
Honestly, just like if I could not have the initial, because you get an initial speed raise, but the way that your speed can drop is lower than what you were at before.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the drop is off the top of my head. I'll probably put it on the screen here just so that people can see what the description is. But yeah, technically your speed goes up, I believe, like in the total, but with how much every time you move, it drops your speed. Mm-hmm. So it's the speed up isn't even worth it.
Yeah. If I'm remembering correctly, like if you're at like a 0.8, it can go up to like a 1.0, but then drop as low as a 0.5 when you're moving.
Yeah, let me
It's long.
actually look it up.
Yeah, please do, so that I'm not like.
Yeah, so I think we were a little wrong, but the description is so you get 2 red heart containers, you get minus 0.3 speed, and then standing still causes your speed to build up at a rate of 0.25 per second, up to 0.5 speed bonus.
Yeah.
So technically, yeah, you do get like a speed up. And then Isaac charges up while standing still. Moving releases a fart cloud behind Isaac that damages and inflicts poison, and then it detracts your speed as you're going through.
Honestly, if it weren't just like, even if it were like trade-off of not giving you 2 red hearts and instead giving you like 1 red heart, not dropping your speed by 0.3 to get that, even if it meant that everything capped up. And the other thing that feels so bad about it is that as soon as you are done moving and back down to now your bottom speed cap, the fact that you then lose all of that, like in Isaac, I like to just keep moving if I can, because it makes me feel like I can dodge a shot better. So having to stand still at any moment to try to get that speed up, just to run across a room and then immediately lose it again, like just, it feels so bad. So even if it, honestly, even if it were just like a flat speed drop and you always left a cloud of poison behind you, like that I feel like I could deal with. But the fact that so much of it is just rooted in temporary, I think is really what feels bad about it.
Yeah, so you're thinking getting rid of the red heart bonus and then getting rid of like the speed change entirely and just having it be like a 0.3 speed drop and then just constant poison clouds is what you're saying?
Yeah.
I think that'd be a lot better. A cool little thing too, apparently it gives you immunity to poison, and then for Tainted Forgotten it acts solely as a flat 0.2 speed bonus and 2 hearts with no other effects on Tainted Forgotten, which
whoa,
yeah, didn't know that, unless that's been changed recently, but those are the notes on the item. Interesting. But
okay, so if you're playing Tainted Forgotten, then you just take Jupiter every time.
Best item, right? But no, I like that change a lot, because I think that's my biggest issue with the item too, is the drop in speed and then just like the constant changing. I don't like changing stats very often, right? It's part of the reason why I never take Taurus either, is because it drops your speed and then like slowly charges it up, because it fucks with your muscle memory too much, where I'm like, okay, yeah, I've been dodging for like 1.2 speed this whole time, and now like I'm dodging for 1.8 speed all of a sudden, and it just it doesn't feel good.
And you know what? Maybe it's a skill issue on my part. Maybe if I'm a better Isaac player, I'm able to adapt to all that muscle memory and just download the constantly changing speed.
Oh yeah,
to lock the fuck in, I guess.
Yeah, my bad. Let me take my 2,000 hours in this game and just throw it out the window. My fucking bad. But no, I don't think it's a skill issue. I think Jupiter is kind of across the board seen as a not great item. I think it genuinely is the worst planetarium item by far.
Yeah.
And then we also have items like Soul that exist. I'm not a big fan of Soul because half the time, by the time I defeat the boss anyways, I don't need the buffs that it gives. But
yeah,
that's just me.
Like the healing on it for your red heart's great.
Yeah. The full mapping is like nice to help maybe find like a secret room or two, but like if you're gonna give me like a revealing like map centric planetarium item, give me Luna, right? Let me get those tears ups on the secret rooms. The only time I hate seeing Luna is if I'm going Beast, because there's no secret rooms on the Ascent or on like the Beast floor in Home, so it's like that kind of sucks. But I like Luna a lot. I think Terra is probably my favorite planetarium item, but
yeah.
Anyways,
mine is Venus. I like having the close range charm, like enemy coming toward you and then they're just like and go on and start just attacking other people.
Yeah, Venus and like Too Spooky are fun for that, where it's just it's like a weird like pseudo invulnerability where it doesn't like get rid of the enemies or keep you from taking the damage, but it definitely helps out a lot. All right, perfect. We're gonna move on to some content related questions. So first I gotta ask, what's your favorite Isaac creator and why? So
I have told you this before, I have to give my apologies to Sacreds because I still have not sat down and watched Interviewing of Isaac #1. I'm sure if I watch it, like I watched your shot Saturday, it was a lot of fun. I'm sure if I sat down and got to know Sacred's a little bit better, that I would start watching his content as well. And I plan to watch that episode sooner rather than later. But you are literally the only Binding of Isaac content creator that I watch. Like,
Good to know.
that is not a thing that has changed. And part of that is like, I gotta support my bud, but like, also, like, you are the person that I have played Isaac with the most, so I really trust a lot of your takes. It's nice to support smaller creators, which also advice for people watching this: if you have small creators that you enjoy watching and you want them to keep making content, keep supporting them, because that's how they know that like their voices matter. It's how they know that the content that they're making is enjoyable and is fun. Like, yeah, it's nice to make content for the love of the game, but to know that other people are enjoying that can be such a huge motivator. So sit and support your smaller content creators. I'm not saying to stop watching your Jacksepticeyes, stop watching your Game Grumps. Like, still enjoy your big content creators, but throw those smaller creators into the mix as well. I guess I'm a bad example of that because I haven't watched the original Interviewing of Isaac. Do as I say, not as I do.
Right.
But yeah, you really are the only Isaac creator that I watch.
Yeah, I definitely like, again, kind of like the retweet on the like support smaller creators is that's one thing I found is also sitting in like a smaller creator's stream is so much nicer because you can actually like have a conversation with him and it feels a lot more, connecting. Like, yeah, parasocial, comments aside, that I feel like I can actually have like good rapport with like a smaller creator that has kind of like 25 viewers or less. Because when you're in like those larger, like 100 plus viewer streams, it's just kind of like a constant stream of messages, right? And exactly. That is also like a great thing for that streamer because it lets them know that they have a large audience that they're kind of catering towards. But sometimes your messages get lost in the sauce, and it's one of those things that like I very much prefer sitting on like smaller streams.
Yeah. And the other thing is with those smaller streams, like if you're supporting them from the beginning, if that lucky break ever happens and they get to the point where there's the constant flooding messages, I guarantee that Script will remember the people that were there during the smaller streams. Like, we'll remember like the Cole and Pibby and Skull and Aqua. Like those people, even if Script has a huge stream of 1,000 people, like though the names will still be remembered by Script, those people that have been supporting since the beginning.
Yeah, shout out to all the OGs that have been here since the start. So but
yeah, and if I didn't mention you, it's not a slight on you. It's just your Discord was popping off this morning, so like those are recent names in my memory.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, and like speaking of streaming and kind of like the creation side, do you have like a favorite game that you like to stream? I know you streamed Isaac a little bit, but I know that recently it hasn't been as much. So kind of like, what's your favorite game to stream and why?
Yeah, so recently for me, it has been a lot of enjoyment of playing Pokerogue. And the reason why is because a lot of times as a streamer, when you play something that you're really, really familiar with, it's easier to go over and look at chat and to have that engagement with the people that are along for your journey. and especially if something that's turn-based like Pokerogue, it is very easy to turn and look.
Yeah.
But it combines two favorite things of mine, which are baby's first RPG in Pokemon. Like, I absolutely love it. I mean, you can half see him, but I've got Turtwig up here, drawn by a really good friend of mine from college, Bree. And it also is a roguelike.
Yep.
I was literally looking at my Pokerogue like right before logging on, because I was like, all right, you can see how much time you have in the game despite it being a browser-based game, which is also the other great thing about it, is that it's free.
Yep.
And that I can just bring it anywhere. Like, I was just in Norway for a week and a half, and at night before I would go to bed, I brought my iPad along with me, and I just went to the browser and I was just playing Pokerogue in bed on my iPad. Like, it's just so even on my own time, I was looking, and I'm 3 hours short of 2 whole weeks in Pokerogue. Like, I have played that game so much, which, if anything, I think next time I stream it just means that I will be able to pay even more attention to chat and try out weirder and more difficult runs, like, for example, using Delibird with huge power rather than using, like, God himself, Arceus.
Yeah.
So, short answer, Pokerogue.
Yeah, for sure. I know. I've found that calling Pokemon a JRPG often upsets people, but like that is what it is, right? Is at its core, like, it is originally was a Japanese role-playing game that like introduced like parties and like moves and like turn-based combats. It literally is a JRPG, and it upsets people so much whenever I refer to it as that. Yeah, I love Pokemon, but I never got into it. I think quite like you and your brother did, where like I never did like competitive Pokemon. I just kind of played. I think the last generation that like I really played was Gen 5. And it's like that's pretty much been it. And I've like kept up with Pokemon, and I still watch a bunch of content on it, like Wolfie, right? I love watching his content, even though I know nothing about competitive Pokemon whatsoever. I just think his video formatting and everything is super interesting. So
I sit now and I watch so much Pokemon content creating. Like, that was not something that I used to do, but over like the last like 6 months, I've been watching so much Then We Fight content.
Yeah.
Where they do like random starter selections, and I got my brother doing it, like watching that, and then he was looking up how to get randomizers on his own PC for maybe the possibility of like the two of us recording Then We Fight things. Yeah. And I think that would be super fun. And even if I would be able to twist your arm into doing that a little bit, like you said, sure. You're not like, you don't know too much about competitive Pokemon, but especially like watching Wolfie, think you know at least some things, and you know like type matchups.
Oh, so yeah, like I know like type matchups. I know how stats work. I know what a lot of like the held items do. Just from watching his content, I'm kind of like absorbed a lot of it. But I would need like a spreadsheet next to me if I were to do that. I can't, like, watching him. Like, I've been watching some of his like tournament videos recently, and just watching him almost like a chess player start to like map out like 4 moves ahead. I'm like I don't have the capacity, at least right now, with like my current like set of knowledge on like how to do that, right? Yeah. To like just see something happen and instantly be like, oh, I already know the 4 moves this Pokemon has. This is how these are the normal setup that this kid like that most people bring this Pokemon into tournaments with. And I'm like, that is just, it's like 15 years of knowledge that's just like packed in, and everyone has their niche, right? Like me, it's Isaac, right? Like and like Isaac and Overwatch, like I know all the inner workings and like details of that because that's just where my focus went. But yeah, it's just crazy.
I remember it was a joke with one of my cousins, Ian, that Simon and I both, like, up to about Gen 4 or 5, had pretty much every single Pokemon move memorized down to damage, accuracy, additional effects like percentage chance, PP of the move, like of literally pretty much every single move, like just completely nestled in my brain. So like I've started doing, now that I've been watching more like Then We Fight and playing more Pokerogue, like the way that all of this is now like coming back and now rebuilding.
Yep.
Granted, there's still like I will mix up Hydro Steam and Steam Eruption because they're both similar named moves, but then I'm like, oh yeah, Hydro Steam is the one that does more damage in sunlight instead of getting less damage, and Steam Eruption is like Stronger Scald, that's Volcanian's move, and now I'm just rambling about Pokemon and back to Isaac.
yeah, back to Isaac, yeah. So I guess in the theme of getting back to Isaac, what other games do you play outside of Isaac?
Yeah. So this may be really surprising. I play Pokemon.
Yeah.
Recently, I've been playing a lot of Helldivers because I got my brother into it, and it's just fun to just like turn your brain off and just run and just like bullet storm murder hobo.
Yep.
Not video game, but I play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. Like I'm in a group that you run, you're in a group that I run.
Yep.
I'm playing in a group later today. Like I play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons because I like telling stories with my friends. Played a lot of Destiny. I mean, the two of us D&D.
Yeah, my little dice holder.
Even the two of us have played a lot of Destiny, including all 9 raids back to back to back in one sitting. I absolutely love my favorite game of all time is Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, so I was on Cloud 9 when the remaster came out. It's been a little while since I played it, so I realistically should play it again.
Yep.
But there are a few single player games that I like to play, which I've mentioned. Isaac, Pokérogue, Oblivion. And then for my group games, Destiny, Helldivers. Isaac, I guess technically.
Co-op, yeah.
Multiplayer. And D&D.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I know that I, for the most part, play a lot of those games too, like you mentioned. New raid is coming out with Destiny probably here in the next couple of months, so we definitely got to sit down and reevaluate the 10 raid, the gauntlet. But yeah, perfect. And then I guess like I kind of asked this too. So what do you do like outside of content creation? So you mentioned that you play some other games.
Yeah.
Do you like D&Ds or anything else that you haven't mentioned yet?
Yeah, so I am in 2 community choirs. I'm on Monday and Tuesday nights, one of which I just sing with, the other I conduct half the time and I sing the other half of the time. Music's always been a big part of my life. But it's a lot of video games and a lot of music is really what I do outside of when I stream every 2 months. Because I've gotten too busy playing games on my own and also just singing. And once I'm out in public too much, I'm like, I need some time to myself. Like I just gotta dial back. And sometimes it turns into 2 months without streaming. My brother sent me a picture that I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was like me when Zesty hasn't streamed in 2 months. I'm like, I know, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the same way though, is I took a couple month break from content creation recently just because like I got caught up with a bunch of other stuff, and I was like, I need to I need to cut something out just for the time being. I knew I would eventually get back to it, but which is kind of like what's happening now, right? With all the recent shorts and of course this interviewing of Isaac. But no, I definitely know what it's like to be like, oh man, like I'm peopled out or I'm burned out or I need to take a break from something, and I understand completely.
Yeah, and that's another that's like a real life advice thing, not like not a content thing, but like people, you gotta listen to your bodies. Like burnout is very real, and it can sneak up on you very, very quickly without you realizing it.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Do not be afraid to ask people for help. Don't be afraid to try to find a different hobby to kind of help refresh your brain, kind of break up any monotony that might be building up in your life. Like be conscious of your mind, be conscious of your body, because burnout is very real and it can be very, very scary.
Yeah. A big thing too is a lot of the time those hobbies will still be there, like even after that break, right? Like very rarely is like a hobby or something you're doing going to completely disappear if you take a break from it.
Yeah.
Maybe some opportunities with it, like if you're trying to go pro in a game, like in an esport, that like maybe taking a break might affect your chances of that, but like the game is still going to be there, right? The desire and the love for it can always be something you can rekindle at a later time, and that's
absolutely.
Like my relationship with Overwatch is very much like that, where it's like I fucking hate this game and I won't play it for a little bit, and I'll come back and I'll have like 3 months of like having the best time in the game I've ever had. So I think we've all experienced that burnout, is especially when you start to realize it's happening, like look to change something up a little bit so it becomes less monotonous, like Zesty was saying. So all right, so I guess we'll finish off with a couple more Isaac related questions before I hand it over to you to kind of tell people where they can find you. But so the first question is, how many hours do you currently have in Binding of Isaac?
Ooh, we're getting into the lightning round. I on my PC, this doesn't include all of the time that I played streaming with you in college. On my PC, which I got after I left college, is 633.9 hours in it. So to be at that level of time and as close to Dead God as I am, I'm doing pretty well for myself.
Yeah, I think the general rule, if you're like actively attempting to get your first Dead God save file, I think most people say it's between 500 to 700 hours is usually what it is for first Dead God. I don't know. I think I was at like 800 because I wasn't actively trying to get it the whole time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's and then if you can do that, anytime you do a second Dead God, I've been told it's like 300 hours. I think is like if you're knowledgeable and know what you're doing with the game. So
yeah.
Perfect. All right, what about your favorite item?
Favorite item for me is Broken Modem. I love the utility of it, like getting to interrupt people when they're walking, to just like lag them, the ability to lag a tier out of existence, the ability to like double consumables, like the amount of utility that comes with that, both with the combat aspect as well as the utility aspect of it, to me makes Broken Modem like an instant buy anytime that I see it. Like even if I have like 2 coins, if I have a bomb, it doesn't matter what run I'm doing, I will immediately bomb the donation machine if it's there and just buy Broken Modem, because it is my favorite. It is my favorite. I love how versatile of an item it is. Once I get Moving Box and therefore get Dead God, I plan to get a little Broken Modem tattoo, because
Nice.
to kind of celebrate me putting that time into that game.
Yeah,
and it's a little bit more work appropriate than a lot of the other
that's also true.
things that you could get.
Yeah, no, Pokémon was a great item. I'll usually buy it if I have the opportunity to. It used to be really bad, like pre-Repentance. It was probably one of the worst items in the game. So I'm glad that they buffed it as heavily as they did, and now it's become like easily one of the best shop items you can get for sure. All right, what about your favorite character?
Favorite character, if I'm just playing casually on my own, give me Eden. Give me that chaos. Give me just as long as we're doing a randomized, as long as we're doing a roguelike, going through all of that, everything generated, just generate all my stats, generate my items. Just give me, it's kind of like that same monotony with Burnout. Like, if I'm playing Isaac and Isaac and Isaac and Isaac and Isaac, like, then I'm always going to start with the same stats and the same extremely good item. I will say D6 is an amazing item. It's one of the best items in the game. But give me that that bullshit of like starting with 2 soul hearts and glass cannon. And
Yeah.
where I just look at this and I'm like, oh, this is scuffed as hell. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Like,
I had an Eden's Blessing start the other day. I can't remember what character I was playing as, but I spawned with Brimstone like right away.
oh my god.
I think it was on stream, and I was like, oh, all right, well this run's already set. I think I was going Delirium was my goal. So like I was worried about it, and then just immediately starting with Brimstone, I was like, all right, cool, this run's
cool.
done. But all right, perfect. What about your favorite boss?
Favorite boss, I think just because of like the versatility in it. I love fighting Chimera. Like,
Okay.
like breaking it down, then getting 2 stages of the boss where it's like 2D. Like, for me, that is just like so fun. Like, yeah, it can be frustrating as hell to fight Chimera, but what a fun addition where it's like, okay, now I'm doing this as a side scroller fighting this boss. Like, it's just, it can be a breath of fresh air to be able to just do that battle.
Are you talking about Rock Gut? Because Chimera is the like girdling and cage boss, and then Rock Gut is the one that has like the like crawl space looking boss section.
I am talking about Rotgut.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I was like, did I misremember the name of this boss? But
no. Listen, if I were a Dead God player, I would know the name of Rotgut. I love like looking at the little bit of confusion in your face and seeing like the browsers flashing in your glasses. I'm absolutely getting fact checked live on the spot.
I was like, I needed to know for like my own thing. I was like, is there a 2D section for Chimera? I was like, I don't go alt floors, or I don't go corpse very often, but it was like, am I misremembering? But no, Rockgut's a super unique boss. I do like Rockgut a lot. But yeah. Do you want to do a retake on that, or do we just want to run with the?
No, we absolutely run with that.
Okay, perfect. I wanted to make sure.
Listen, I think it's funnier that way. Just
oh god.
Listen, don't cut any of that. My favorite boss to fight is Rotgut. It's just getting to be able to get that 2D section. The fact that anyone would ever confuse that with Chimera is absolutely crazy to me. But your boss is absolutely Rotgut.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah, awesome. I'm glad we got that on the first take. All right, moving on with continuing with the hostile creatures. What about your favorite enemy in the game?
This one I actually did look up, so it won't be fucked.
Perfect.
Favorite enemy, honestly, because I scrolled through the full list of enemies.
Yeah, the bestiary, yeah.
Yep. Also, for kind of the uniqueness of it and the fact that it makes me sweat a little bit, but I'm never too stressed by the time I run into them. Cursed Globins.
Which are those the black ones that
No,
make the spiders?
no, those are the purple ones that just replicate
Yeah, I know what you're
every
talking
time
about.
you kill them. Because if you get like a good run and you're just like nuking through like 30 of these globins as they keep respawning, just makes you feel powerful. But sometimes I'm never too stressed about them. Like I can maybe recall a handful of times I've ever taken damage, but they still scare me a little bit to get like so many of them. It's like fuck. It's like trying to blast through 30 enemies that keep replicating.
Yeah. It's funny that like a lot of those rooms are like puzzle rooms with the kill button in them with like the cursed globins.
Oh yeah.
Because you're like, we're gonna give you 4 cursed globins and it's gonna multiply, it's gonna fill up the whole room. You better hope you can press that button in time. Like it's
Yes.
That's a good one. I don't often think about the alt floor enemies too often because I find that a lot of them are super annoying. Like those like whip shot enemies, the ones that have like the gimpy masks that like I hate all variants of it. It does not matter which one because I don't know them well enough. I don't know like which one does what. So I'll see one and be like, okay, cool. I can sit on the other side of the room and be fine. And all of a sudden I just get whipped through a rock across the room and I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
When I was looking at the bestiary, I found out that like the 2 main variants of that are called whippers and snappers, and it just made me think of like an 80-year-old woman looking
Oh yeah.
Look at those young whippersnappers beating Isaac to death.
My next question is, I know this was in the Isaac related questions earlier, but I figured I'd loop it into here. Do you play with in-game music at all, or do you play with your own playlist when you play Isaac?
So for the most part, when I play Isaac, I don't listen to the in-game music. The only time I listen to the in-game music is if I am doing Shot Saturday. And the reason why is because sometimes I am not fortunate enough to have a wired connection, and I'm more worried about my internet shitting out if I put music alongside trying to connect with script in Shot Saturday. So I will turn on in-game music when I do that, but otherwise I usually don't even listen to music. I just put like another YouTube video on the other side when I'm playing, just like on my own. If I'm streaming Isaac on those very rare blue moon opportunities, then I'll find something else that's not in-game music to stream with, unless I start again having internet issues, and then I'll be like, having this other music is not worth it. But the nice thing about turning off the Isaac music is that once you do eventually turn it back on, it kind of gives you this nice like wave of nostalgia, like, oh, I've kind of missed this. But it's the same as any music. Like, there's music that I can listen to time and time again, but I always get a little bit worried about burning out of it. Of being like, oh, I'm sick of this music now. So sometimes I turn it off just so I can get my enjoyment back of the Isaac music.
For sure. Yeah, and I always ask that question because it's a pretty common question I get in like YouTube comments and like Twitch streams, is people be like, hey, like, you know, why aren't you using in-game music? Why are you using your own playlist? I have 2,000 hours in this game. I spent the first 1,000 hours of the game listening to the soundtrack over and over and over again. That like it got to a point where I'm like, listen, I'm turning the music off, listening to the same 10 tracks over and over again, even if it's like in a video game, gets so tiring. So I just end up playing my own music. But it's really interesting that like how popular the Isaac music is. When I'll go and watch like a YouTube video that has nothing to do with Isaac, and they'll start using Isaac music as like the background music, and I'm like, oh man, like I know this. Yeah, in like whether it be like the basement theme or like the secret room theme, it's just like Isaac has really good music for background stuff. So it's always so funny that like we're just stumbling into random videos that have absolutely like I was watching like a Call of Duty like high round like synopsis that they were talking about like the world record history of like high rounds, and there was Isaac music in the background for like a section of it. And I'm like, this has nothing to do with this game, but it you know, it always just makes you laugh, like, you know, every once in a while catching the an Isaac song every once in a while.
The music in Isaac is fantastic, and variety is the spice of life, where it's nice to listen to other things.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and then I guess the last question that we'll have of the ones I have here is, what's your favorite challenge in Isaac?
Favorite challenge in Isaac? I really like Red Redemption.
Okay.
Like building out your own dungeon as you travel through the whole thing, I think is really, really fun. I also really like Pong.
Yeah.
Just because of how ridiculous it is to have this huge polyphemus like bouncing tier.
Yep.
With Cupid's arrow is just so fun to me. Like, you shoot once and then you have to wait for ever to shoot another one. So it's like you're getting like backed in. It's like, to me, it's like the equivalent of getting backed into a corner while you're reloading your Wonderwaff.
Yeah.
And you like just lost speed cola, so it's like you're moving slow as molasses as full like Varrock sprinting zombies are coming toward you. Yeah. It's like hurry the fuck up. Like...
That's a good one. I like Red Redemption a lot. I know Red Key has to be one of my favorite items in the game, just in general.
Oh.
I mean, I created an entire short based on Red Key. I created an entire long form video based on Red Key. It's just the amount of possibilities and like potential you have with that item is awesome. And then having like an entire you know, challenge centered around it is just really cool.
I got when I was playing last night, I got Soul of Cain. Right, is the one that gives you the red doors.
Yeah, the opens like all doors in the room, including like the red ones.
So I walked into a challenge room and I saw 3 outlines and I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And unlocked it. Unfortunately, no item or like ultra secret room, but it did give me a cut beeline like to just outside of the boss room. So yeah,
it's worth it in the long run. But all right. Perfect. I think that wraps up all the questions that I have for you. So do you have any last minute comments that you want to share? Where can people find you, and any other last tidbits of info?
Yeah. So I want to thank you, Script, for letting me come on and yap with you. It's always good to just sit down and chat with you. People want to know where to find me. I'll be modding in your Twitch chats whenever I'm available. But also twitch.tv/ZestiOrange. I think it's been like 3 months since I streamed, but you can still follow. And then in case I do stream again eventually, when I get a free night, you can be like, oh my god. It'll be like, yeah, it'll be like a Christmas present. Just me showing up as I leg out of this call near the very end. Oh.
Zesty Christmas stream when?
Yeah.
But...
I did do a Binding of Isaac Easter stream. I do remember that.
yeah. I think I had you in the background while I was with family. But awesome. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming on and taking the opportunity to do this interview, and also to give some background to maybe some of my newer viewers not realizing that Zesty was kind of there since the beginning, right? It was the whole reason the channel got started and why Shot Saturday even exists. Oh, yeah. But yeah, like you said, it's always good to sit down and be able to chat and catch up. I know we are probably in calls at least 2-3 times a week with each other, right? Because we play games and spend time that way, but it's good to kind of do it in a setting like this. But yeah, and I also want to thank everybody else for watching this interview and getting to know both me and Zesty a little bit more. If you like this kind of content, you want to see more of it, please subscribe and comment down below the next content creator that you might want to see on interviewing of Isaac. I'm always looking to kind of get more people involved in a setting like this. There isn't really like a podcast setting style of Isaac out there, so it's nice to be able to get to know your favorite content creators a little bit better. But yeah, with that out of the way, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.